Hi, I'm taking the reins today. Welcome to Power Gator 9000. Today we have Zebra. Say hello, Zebra.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
That's you.
It's me?
Yeah.
Because the Z in the front. That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys, it's me, Zebra.
All right, and
Hey,
over
Zebra.
here we have Apple.
Wait. Hey,
Hi.
we're doing
It's
abstract
funny
names
they-
today.
It's funny you say that. Right as Siri started listening to me.
That's
And we also have me, Blimp.
okay. Hi,
And
Blimp.
finally we have Greg. Hello.
Wait. But what?
Object.
Strong, right?
Fruit.
Where's the L?
Object.
But he did the what? Lieutenant Lollipop doesn't start with a G. Fuck.
So hey, well, who's reading today?
Who knows? I know, it's me.
Oh, okay.
Oh fuck.
I didn't see
You
that
got
one
me
coming.
scared for a second there.
What do you mean? I don't have a story written.
What?
Just kidding,
Scared
I
you.
do.
Fuck. He got me 2 times.
Twice in a row. You gotta
Also,
catch up. Huh?
Rudy, I think you're still streaming, by the way.
Who's
Wait,
Rudy?
I'm
no, you're
definitely
no,
not.
you're no, you're
I'm definitely
no,
not.
Okay.
That's
It says you're
Zebra.
on Discord though.
Yeah, it's because OBS is open. Hey, look,
Damn.
suddenly, I'm not streaming. Okay.
Sorry about that.
The story today is called Ooga Ooga. Yes.
You
Actually.
spell that for me?
OOGAOOGAUH.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ooga Ooga. So, here we go. Let's jump right into it. The year is 3000 BC. Early enough to have humans, but not too early as to have God's weird OCs, and not too late to have competent humans. The humans of these years were nothing but fur, loincloths, and nothing much else. A testament to how modern fashion is nothing compared to the past. 300 BC was just a perfect time, where things were simple. You live in a cave, shit in the woods, and you'll probably die, but hey, that's life. There were 2 major threats that mankind faced at this time: extinction and not peeling the banana correctly. Ruga is a caveman currently facing one of those issues, as he is currently running away from a thin and brittle saber-toothed bragger. Quickly, Ruga ran, planting his bare feet into the forest's soft soil to speed away from the beast. His goal? What's that?
Say what was that? Saber-tooth bragger?
Bragger.
Bragger.
Did I say that? Did I say it like that?
No,
You
you
did.
said bragger. I completely understand what you mean already.
You said Briker.
Okay, well. Fuck
Oh.
me, I guess.
I didn't think I said bragger. But yeah, bragger.
That's not how
Okay.
you say it right.
Okay. Quickly, Ruga ran, planting his bare feet into the forest soft soil to speed away from this beast. His goal? His sausage party of a dwelling where his friends, Grug, Juke, and Taw, waited for him to come back from a supposed hunt. The bragger was gaining up on Ruga and took a swipe at him, his skinny paw barely missing Ruga as he ducked under it, screaming bloody murder in the process. Ruga jumped and grabbed onto a tree branch, his fat ass snapping it immediately. The branch just grazed the branch just grazed the bragger as it fell, the gust of wind from it breaking several of the bragger's bones. It fought on, the thought of a tasty human blurring the pain.
So wind broke his bones?
Yep.
Oh.
He's really brittle.
Well,
Brutally brittle.
does this happen
Bullshit.
to be based off of anybody or
A bragger? No, I don't know anybody who's weak and also named Bragger.
yeah.
Me either.
It's
That's
Brian,
a
you
very
dumb
common name.
shit.
See, I'm okay.
Got him. Woo! Okay, sorry.
Stacy, is that you?
No, it's not Stacy. This is
Oh, is
Speaker.
that your nose?
It's my clown nose.
It kind of sounded like Stacy for a hot second.
I don't blame you. It kind of does, yeah. Okay, let's continue. On the horizon, Ruga finally spotted the cave where he and his tribe stayed at, a tear nearly filling his eye. Not out of care for his friends, but because even from there, the stench of cave ass was just that potent. Outside the cave, Ruga could see his friends playing a game of Ooga, where
Love
each
that
would where they would take turns punching each other in the face, and the one who cries the least is the winner. Juke was currently holding first place with only 14 hours. Okay.
Wait. So, wait.
We
Crying
cried for
14 hours is the least.
yeah, that's the idea.
Oh.
They cry a lot.
Oh.
Aww.
I guess
3,000.
BC times were sad.
No,
they're
it's just
simple.
Either that
Yeah,
or
they're
they
simple.
can punch fucking hard.
well.
I'd
Ruga
punch
being
you.
chased. Oh, you go ahead. What?
Nothing. Go on.
Okay. Ruga being chased. Help, Ruga! Ruga screamed at the top of his lungs in the hopes that his friends could hear him. Unfortunately, the loud and ugly crying was enough to block out the screams from that distance. Ruga had to think fast. Well, not that fast, but fast for the time. We're talking 5 miles per hour, 1 mile per gallon kind of fast. Ruga quickly nabbed a football-sized rock as he ran, and used humanity's greatest technology, rock throw. With a combination of ape strength and adrenaline, Ruga sent the rock hurtling towards the cave entrance, where his friend stood. The rock knocked straight into the steel-hard cold of Grug, who was just about to receive a punch from Juke anyway. "Ooh, Ooga! Who threw a pebble?" Grug exclaimed, holding his head in his hands. Greg quickly looked up and screamed like a little girl, seeing the monster that was currently chasing Ruga back to the cave. Oh, I read that like the fucking Rap City Christmas grandma. I'd right to the cave.
Shut that door.
Juke, still crying, looked over to see what made Grug so upset and let out a similar little girl scream. Ta, who was just taking a nap, emerged from the cave because of the screaming, saw what was happening, and drowsily made his way back into the cave, scratching himself as he walked. Juke got a bow from his shoulder and knocked an arrow, and then realized
He's invented bows? Damn.
and then realized bows and arrows weren't invented yet.
Fuck.
Juke then hung his head in sadness. Suddenly, Ruga lost his balance and crashed to the dirt. Grug picked back up the rock Ruga threw earlier and flung it back towards the Briger, who just managed to dodge the rock. This gave Ruga enough time to get back up and run again. The tribe ran into the cave while screeching and making weird caveman noises. Ruga was still running as fast as he could, his legs feeling as though they could give out at any moment. Ruga finally made it to the cave, where his friends sat shivering and holding each other, minus Ta, who was still trying to take a nap.
Todd just doesn't give a fuck.
I was really tired from all the punching, dude.
All the crying and punching.
Crunching.
God.
The Bragger also made it to the cave. The beast surveyed its prey, slowly marching towards them, excited for its feast. Ruga was now also in the pile of shivering cavemen. The Bragger lifted one of its front paws and sheathed razor-sharp claws. Did you just really? You fucking phone? Really fucked me up there. The Bragger lifted one of its front paws and unsheathed razor-sharp claws. The scared caveman noises grew louder the closer the beast came. The final seconds of the unfortunate Neanderthals' lives ticked slowly away. The Bragger quickly let down its paw, going for a clean kill, but just before the claw could make contact with flesh, Ta rolled over on his side and released a butt blast strong enough to instantly kill the Bragger.
Damn, Ta.
Ta, you really had to let out a fart.
Yeah.
I am making a lot of weird caveman noises. So.
You were not. You were asleep.
Well, I mean, I could have still been making weird caveman noises while sleeping.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe I snore a lot, I don't know.
You fucking snoring caveman. How do you feel about that? Got him. I don't know. I'm so tired. The creature fell limp on the cave's damp floor. All of the cavemen got up and immediately started to cheer. Happiness filled the air along with some crying because Juke wasn't quite done with that yet. That night, the tribe had a feast of minimal proportions, consisting of crispy fried bragger, some dangerously poisonous berries that Grug picked, and water that mysteriously appears in the cave after Ta says he has to go pee-pee.
We're just drinking Ta's piss.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I
No, it's
sterile-
mysterious water, Granger.
Hey, even if we're pissed, it'd be sterilized. Don't worry.
Yeah. For Man vs. Wild, BC times.
Yeah.
Huh.
A few default caveman celebration dances later, the early men began chopping away at their meal.
What's Caveman Fortnite like?
Doesn't exist. It's a default caveman dance. You ever,
Oh, my bad.
did you ever see? Did you ever play Spore?
Flossing invented yet? Oh,
Did you ever play Spore and got to the travel stage?
Yeah.
You know that part where you could like select all your tribe and then select the campfire and they can all dance?
Yeah.
That.
Okay.
Look up a video of it right now if you don't know what I'm talking about. You kids haven't played Spore and have it crash on you. Come on.
Which part do they pull out the maracas and try and woo others' tribes?
Yeah. A few default caveman celebration dances later, the cavemen began chomping away at their meal. The grotesque display of visual and audio hysteria echoed through the area around them. They didn't care how loud they were. This had been the longest time they... What? Excuse me.
no.
They didn't care how loud they were. This had been the first time they ate in a whole 3 hours. The longest they've been without food for years.
What
Man.
What did we eat 3 hours ago?
I don't know, some berries.
Were they poisonous?
Maybe.
Okay. Well,
Nutritious diet.
But in their festivities, the boys didn't seem to notice 4 sets of glimmering eyes looking on from the darkness, a watchful, longing look about them. Obviously, they couldn't be fucked to watch the surroundings, as they were too focused on screaming and gnawing on bones. Full off their meal and seeing some weird colors after eating those berries, the tribe left and walked deep into the cave. Except Ruga, who was too afraid of caves. He, as he always did, slept outside.
Oh.
The tribe, one by one, piled onto each other and slowly drifted off to sleep.
what do you mean piled onto each other?
Piled onto each other. Yeah, warmth.
Oh,
What do you mean?
okay.
There's nothing gay about it. They didn't have a concept of being gay back then.
Gay wasn't invented yet.
I won't go. I won't say that on record. Don't quote me on that.
Too late.
No.
Oh no.
Oh fuck! You sent that to the FDA.
We have set up
Send.
cameras. You're being recorded right now. You didn't even know.
Oh, I'm counting 7 cameras right now. How did you get?
There's one there,
Whoa!
and there,
Whoa!
and there.
Whoa! Okay.
Whoa!
Stupid joke. King. Okay.
Finish your story.
What?
Okay.
That was really weird.
As you command, my sire.
Yes. Yes, sire. I'm sorry. Okay. Help Ruga! Woo! Woo! Ah! The screams of Ruga filled the night air, waking up the entirety of the cave. Juke was the first up, grabbing his sharpened spear and rushing out to help his friend. Where are you, Ruga? Juke yelled into the darkness. Ruga here! Ruga replied, being only slightly audible. Whatever took him was fast. Ta rushed out of the cave, torch in hand, Grug following closely behind with a rock. Juke pointed into the forest. It take Ruga over there! Juke said, rushing headstrong into the darkness. Ta followed quickly behind, with Grug right on his tail. The trio searched for their friend until dawn. The torch Ta had was now a smoldering stick, and everyone felt incredibly exhausted. Dragging their feet in the dirt, they almost felt like giving up, when suddenly they heard a distinctly familiar voice. Ooga, ooga, ah! It was Ruga, and he was close. All 3 men perked up and ready for battle. Bravely they marched towards the noises of Ruga. Soon they found a strange cave with a burnt-out campfire in front of the entrance. Ruga kidnapped by rebel tribe, Grug whispered to his comrades. The trio...
Explain
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah.
The trio quietly stepped towards the entrance of the cave. A strong stench slapped them in the face. It was a stench.
Why does everything stink?
Well, it's fucking caveman time. Do you think there was a
okay.
bath?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
They licked their wounds. And themselves like cats, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
They smell. They're bad. Ew.
So then they be used to it. Oh, whatever. Not
Well, I mean, this is a rival tribe.
Yeah,
yeah, but we did it with our own stench too, though. Yeah, whatever.
Different.
Ruga was out of the cave.
Okay.
Anyway.
Go on.
The trio quietly stepped towards the entrance of the cave. A strong stench slapped them in the face. It was the stench of Cussy, cave pussy. A stench that none of the tribe were used to. Closer they marched, attempting to be prepared for anything. Ta managed to light up another torch and creeped along with Juke and Grog further in. The entrance had been small, but the cave itself was massive. The ceilings were... He said the word wrong. You just make fun of me.
I'm sorry.
Ha.
Rudy, I just did the thing where you combine the letters. It's okay.
He said the word wrong. The entrance had been small, but the cave itself was massive. The ceilings were roughly 15 feet tall, and they only were getting taller. We are in the beam.
Can you speak up a bit? I can't hear it.
Alright. Grog stopped in his tracks. Fuck. Juke and Ta unwittingly bumped into him. What wrong, Grog? Juke asked. Grog did not answer. His face was a spectacle, mouth agape and eyes wide open. Juke and Ta walk up next to him and follow his eyes up and ahead. It was the torchlight. The torchlight illuminated an extremely large and fur-clad behemoth. Juke and Ta's jaws dropped and had a striking resemblance to Grug's face. Juke shook out of his daze and gave a mighty jab to the beast. This being followed with a blood-curdling scream. It was then they realized how truly large this monstrosity was. What was easily 10 feet tall before became around double that size as whatever it was stood up. It turned around, revealing its matted hair and crooked teeth. The pelt it wore was stained with blood and mysterious juices. It was round and smelled of fermenting booty sweat. Needless to say, this was the most beautiful woman the tribe have ever seen. Why you stab me? She bellowed. Juke was too lost in the cave woman's eyes to talk. The only thing that came out was a Juke managed to giggle while looking shyly away. The one to speak up was Grug. We are looking for tribe member Ruga. We think you big ugly beast, but in reality, you a big pretty beast.
What a way with words, Grug.
Ruga, you say? The she-beast remarked. You mean Lupa boyfriend? The trio sat confused. The thick, thunderous steps of the cave woman took up most of the silence. She moved out of the way and revealed Ruga, who was tied to a large post. Hi, me friends, Ruga said while waving his shackled hands to say hello. The dark cave suddenly grew bright as three enormous silhouettes made themselves visible as one of the big babes lit a humongous torch. This me tribe, said the original cave woman. Me name Oob. She named Gur. She named me, and she named Lupa. Oob was pointing at each of the three other large monstrosities in the cave. All of them looked similar to Oob. All of them looking similar to Oob. Lupa say she find Ruga about an outside cave, said Oob. Me take Ruba as new boyfriend, said Lupa, as she picked Ruga off the post and off the post he was tied to and crushed him with a hug. Ruga let out a pained screech. The sound of crunching bones quietly got muffled under the lard and fur pelt.
Oh.
That means you are boyfriends too, Oob, Gur, and me all said. They then ran and scooped up the respective boys, all of them doing the same bone-crushing hug.
I didn't need my bones anyways.
Bones get crushed too easily. Need to feed new boyfriends lots of food, said Lupa. The group of men perked up at the prospect of more food. All of their stomachs growled and appetites were sharpened. Okay, We make food for hungry, tiny men. Oob agreed.
This is reminding me of the Eddie episode where the Canker sisters kidnapped him.
Yeah.
It's caveman Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out about that. We'll find out soon.
So
like
just
that.
Ed and Eddie. Got him.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Yeah, because that show was terrible.
That's not what I said at all.
I like that show.
You're putting words in my mouth. How dare you?
Tommy, stop saying Ed and Eddie's bad. I like it. Gee.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue your story.
Todd, Juke, and Grug. No, Todd, Juke, Grug, and Ruga all then were tied to their own posts. Happily, they awaited for their meal.
Wow, the Stockholm syndrome hit quick.
Yeah, I mean, food.
Yeah, you're right.
True.
I mean, they feed prisoners too.
Yeah,
That's the
well,
thing.
who knows what they're going to be fed. Here we go. Me wonder what food they're making for us, Juke said, still crying from Ooga.
Good.
Me think we get bones, or maybe more poisonous berries, Ruga said with drool hanging from his lip.
He wants some poison.
Yeah,
I
why
mean,
not?
they're used to eating shit, is what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
Before the bumbling quartet could continue their ramblings of subpar cuisine, the she-beast spoke. Dinner ready, they all exclaimed with the scent of dragon's breath melting the eyebrows off of Ta.
Oh my god.
Behind the behemoth sat a smorgasbord. Piles and piles of Don't you dare make fun of me. I felt it coming. I said that completely wrong.
Ha ha ha.
Ah! Stop making fun of me.
What did you even say wrong?
Smorgasbord? Smorgasbord? Smorgasbord.
I
I
like
thought you
the
said
way
it. If you didn't say it right, you were close.
I
Yeah.
liked the way you said it was all.
I heard that, and I was just like, he's gonna say it.
Oh, continue your story.
Okay, sorry,
Yes,
sorry, Viking. Piles and piles of food, whole roasted pigs, rotisserie chickens, mountains of fresh fruit, bananas,
What?
and they were
What's
peeled
that
the right
bullshit we were
way.
eating before? Holy fuck! Goddamn, it's just 4 Gordon Ramsays in front of us. What the hell?
Hot shit. This sight was enough to send the 3 cavemen into a crying spiral of hunger and bliss. Rivers of flowing saliva and tears pooled underneath the men of the cave. This was a heavenly sight. The men were then untied. Ta wanted to stay tied, but eventually caved in, as the feast before him was his to have. Disgustingly gnawing on bones and flesh, the cavemen went. Fruits were mashed into bits, specks of food flew everywhere. Grug wasn't even sure if he was eating or just covering himself in food at one point, but eventually, the mountains upon mountains of food were wasted away. The black holes of human beings quickly finished their feast. Grug, Ta, Juke, and Ruga were full and satiated. They were far rounder than they started out as, and couldn't move as much. Waddling was the only way they could get around. With a round belly, Juke made his way over to Oob, who was sitting in a corner, talking to her tribeswomen. So, Oob, Juke said with a wishbone in his mouth like a rose. How about you and Juke go find dark part of cave, and maybe Juke play Coldplay?
What is
Excuse me?
What do you mean?
What kind of music was Caveman Coldplay making?
Yellow.
I reiterate. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now time for me and me tribe to feast, Oob responded. Juke looked confused. There is no food left. What could they possibly... Oh, shit. Juke waddled over to his cavemates. Juke waddled over to his cavemates with haste. They were still picking meat from their teeth and unable to move. The one who ate the most was Grug. Fuck. Literally a ball. Be friends.
Oh, fuck.
Be friends, Juke urgently whispered. Meet the cave woman going to eat us. Oh no! Ta delicious! Please don't eat Ta! Ta yelled. The cave mistresses looked over at the men. They had a look on their face, a "man, I'm hungry" face. Slowly they moved towards the boys. Drool dripped from their mouths and made a sickening slap once it hit the floor. Lupa pounced, and Ruga moved out of the way. She flew by and hit Grug's round and immobile physique. He was then set rolling like a cue ball and hit into his friends.
Grug ball corner pocket.
Oh, nice, dude.
Very sweet, dude. Like a cue ball and hit his friends. They all started to roll around the legs of the cave girls. They grabbed and swiped at the cavemen as they bounced around, only for it to be a near miss every time. Grug and the gang started rolling towards the cave opening. I'm trying to read this correctly. It's all incorrect. The momentum slowed down, and the men slowed to a stop. The BC babes were gaining up fast. Quickly, the fat-ass Neanderthal stood up and began to run. Grug was still entirely immobile, so Ruga started to roll him out of the cave. He started out of the cave with him and his friend's tribe. And his tribe. As they ran, the ceiling began to lower, and it became harder for the women to keep up with their prey. The cave became so narrow that Grug's behemoth ass started to get caught in the ceiling too.
Oh.
Juke and Taw started to tire out, and Grug began to roll on his own at very fast speeds. Grug eventually got ahead of the waddling Taw and Juke, and lodged himself in the cave entrance, sealing them with the cave women. The 4 cave cuties crawled towards the bodacious biggies.
What?
Fantastic.
What fucking genius just spilled out of your mouth?
The droll and longing eyes had become multiplied because of the chase. They were hungry, all right. Oob made it to Juke. Her hand slowly went up to his face, and then it went lower and lower. Oh. Now time for a feast of man meat, said Oob. Turns out, they didn't want to stuff their mouths with flesh. They wanted to stuff flesh somewhere else. They wanted some man meat, but not the kind you'd find above the belt. They were carnivores for cock, and I'm not talking about the rooster.
Okay.
They wanted some fuck.
You're gonna eat my dick? No. Can't have that. I need that. That's where I pee.
Soon the rest of the cavemen got the message and made their way to their cave girlfriends, excluding Grug, who was pulled out of the cave entrance by Gur.
Fuck!
Who was pulled out of the cave entrance by Gur. Did you hear what I said? Gur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That night, they turned out the torches and flipped on some Coldplay. Sweet, sweet caveman love was made. Humanity was no longer on the verge of extinction, and the cave dwellers lived happily ever after.
Hey.
The end.
Wow. It was a happy ending after all.
It was a journey to get there.
Yeah.
We got there.
Where the fuck did they get all that food?
They're fucking massive. Don't just catch them. They don't care.
Come around, you know.
Yeah, okay.
They have a back entrance.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna expand on that, but I didn't really find a point where it, was fit in. But either way, yeah, they have a back entrance.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, there's my caveman story.
I love it.
You do?
Good.
I already forget the title. Was it Oogag?
No, it's Ooga.
Oh, I was close.
It was Mike, Lou, and Ugg, or whatever the fuck
Mike,
that
Lou, and
show's
Og
called.
on the island. I love that show. There was one time where they made a fake economy with all seashells, and then they fucked it up, and it was a commentary on capitalism.
So TF2 got him.
Oh shit, dude.
Thanks, Mike, Lou, and Og.
Yeah. That was a good story, Zebra.
Thanks.
I hope you enjoy the future stories that are to come from the other members of this wonderful chat.
I'm so sorry. I keep burping. I'm so gross.
End it
I
there.
heard you.
You did.
Why do I have to fucking do what you say?
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
I'm the king. End it there.